What's up, everybody? I'm sorry I'm so late. Like, this has been overload. This deep dive was so intensive. There's so much information, so much stuff that's out there. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my allegedly banner up right now. Like the video as the intro plays, because I don't even at this point I don't even know. It's too much.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense. I want to make it make one.
Big moves. Surfer. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense.
I remember when Candy Hair used to look like this. I fly above. I fly above. I fly. No, that what you? No, I fly above.
Okay, y'all. So there has been, like I said, there has been so much stuff. I don't even know. But let's just start with some of the stuff that you might have already seen. This particular psychic, I think this is a good place to start.
Being shown November of 2023. So her death date was November 15th of 2018, but I'm being shown November of 2023. I don't think we're done with this. I feel she's shaking her head yes. Before she stare at me, then she wait, and now she's shaking her head yes. I am being shown that things are being prepared. She is showing me a trumpet. People are standing straight up, and there are people going to speak, not just.
So that was about Kim Porter allegedly speaking to a psychic. We all know that it was the 5th anniversary of her passing just a couple days ago. Actually, the day before Cassie's lawsuit dropped. I could not find anything specifically on Misa where Misa had talked. Misa would be Diddy's first baby mama, the initial love of his life. Misa was his high school sweetheart, very, very pretty lady. It's a good thing that her son took after her looks. Anyway, I could not find anything specifically where she had talked about being a victim of DV. However, Gene Deal did. We all know Gene Deal had a very checkered past with Diddy, like his main bodyguard, his right hand. Well, he did an interview with Storm. Shout out to Storm Monroe. Anything that I use, I will link so that you guys can see the whole interview or the whole interaction. So here is Storm talking to Gene.
D. That's why Puff first beat her ass. Sorry about
No,
that.
you're fine. Well, hey, tell us that story. I mean, if you want to.
But that didn't make the book.
That didn't make the book, yeah.
Yeah, she was dealing with that dude. Misa was drop dead gorgeous.
She still is to this day.
Yeah, I don't think so. She, what you call that? Botoxed up now.
All right. Okay.
Our people don't need to do that. But if you do that, that's what you want to do. It's okay. You understand?
It makes your face look very swollen. I will say that.
Lil Kim went to Big Kimberly. You know what I'm saying? That's what I say all the time.
Okay.
We don't need to do that. Our people don't need to do that. Let's grow gracefully and use what you got. She don't look like the Misa I knew. You understand? I used to bodyguard Misa, so I know. You understand? And to get back to the story, is that she thought Puff was messing around. I guess like she started talking to the dude from EPMD. He came to see her, and Puff beat up till she got up literally till she tried to run up under the car.
Now, this man has since written a book. Anything that he says, I will still say is alleged, but he gives his firsthand accounts. So we're starting with Misa. Misa made headlines recently when her son was arrested. She really came out against Diddy and said that it would not be her son. You probably remember that recently. Misa has really been even killed this entire time. She's never really spoken out of Diddy. They had some friction, but other than that, Misa was just wronged. I'll just say it plain and simple. This was the statement that she made. The statement, "A fish rots from the head down," means that in addition to being a major contributing factor in a family or organization's success, leadership is also the root cause of its failure and demise. The truth shall set you free. I'm not protecting no one anymore, just my son, 100. Now, Misa has been through it with Diddy. Misa is basically a star in her own right. She did all the wardrobe and styling for Mary J. Blige, Little Kim. She was the one that had Little Kim with the pasty. Misa is a star in her own right. But Misa was wronged by Diddy. Now, Gene just alleged that there was some physical abuse. Again, Misa has never said any of that. So whenever I'm, going over these things with you, I will let you know specifically if the person said it directly. Misa never said it. What Misa did say, though, was that basically Kim Porter was not that girl. I really did not know so much about Diddy's third baby mama, Sarah, but Kim did. And so we're going to get into that because that's a very, very interesting story and turn of events. But I want you to hear from Misa's vantage point. Just last month, Diddy's first baby mama, Misa Hilton Brim, spoke on the other ladies he's fathered children with, claiming they were her sister wives. She had to say, "Sarah Chapman is really sweet, but Sarah and Kim Porter don't get along. I get along with everyone, with both of them. Kim and I go back for years now. We were friends at one point. I was like, you wanted him, you got him now, baby. So she's got to go through all this BS I had to go through back in the day. They are like sister wives. I try to keep everything good, and we want Kim to accept Chance, Sarah's daughter, but she's not ready yet. But I accepted Christian, Kim's son." Well, so much for that friendship. Here's what Kim Porter had to say when asked to respond to Misa's claims. "I don't want to respond to anything Misa could ever say. She's not on my level." Now, that was an exchange. If you don't know the players, like I told you, this is Misa. Misa was a very big deal and remains a big deal in fashion, successful in her own right. The other players are Sarah. Sarah is here in green. It was said that Sarah and Kim and Misa all knew each other. Strangely enough, though, and of course, Kim Porter, who technically was with Albie Shore. She went to go work as like an executive assistant. Diddy took her. But let's get into Sarah, because Sarah has a very interesting story. I don't know if you guys know all this. Who is Sarah? Sarah is Chance, Diddy's third baby mama. However, it gets really strange, y'all. Sarah was allegedly with Tupac right after he got out of jail in 95. The reason that this is so strange is because Sarah would have been 16 years old. Sarah was born in 1979. Yikes. I told you, it's a lot of twists. It's a lot of turns. Hit that like button. We got 1,200 people in here. If you're new, definitely subscribe. But yes, Sarah was allegedly with Tupac. These pictures were from 95. Sarah was born in 79. You do the math. The reason that I feel like it gets stranger is because when you talk about Sarah and Diddy, they're alleging that they were connected in 93. I told y'all this has taken me so long because there's so many twists. I don't even know if we'll get to everything today because this has been a lot. But yes, the assertion is that they were together in 1993 to 2009. This is just what I'm finding. Whew. But you have that connection, right? Biggie, Tupac. You are now connected to somebody who Tupac was connected to. It keeps getting stranger. It keeps getting stranger. I wanted to play this.
Do you think Diddy put the hit out on Pac? Was a loaded question. No pun intended.
Asked. Okay, let me say this. You know damn well we can't talk about that shit because, people getting murdered in the streets is a real thing. But I did spend a very, very, one of the most interesting nights of my life with Suge Knight. And I did ask him who killed Pac. And I also hung out with Biggie's mom at the Duets album release, and I asked her who killed Biggie.
Did they answer you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's one of those things where it's like, Aubrey, you in danger. Why she would put that out there, I don't know, but I'm giving you guys full background, full history. It's crazy. It's a turn. Why she was even in the room with Suge Knight, I don't know. But okay, it happened. So I want you guys to hear, in Gene's words, how he met Sarah, because this was a twist that I was not expecting.
Now, I said this before, but ain't nobody going to believe me and ain't nobody going to know nothing like this. Misa and Kim were cool. Kim snaked Misa to get at Puff. But it was only because Puff came at her with whatever he could do and however he did it. But Misa was snaked by Kim. Kim Porter. Listen to this. Kim Porter, Sarah, and Tanisha would be running together. You could find Tanisha, Kim, and Sarah sometimes in a place called Perks. Perks was on 120th, I think, and Manhattan Avenue. Anybody from Harlem know what I'm talking about. Jim, you're right, in Harlem.
Are y'all hearing that? So he, who some people say, may or may not be telling the truth, is alleging that they were all friends, Kim and Sarah. Sarah, this very young woman who was initially at some point linked to Tupac and now has this connection with Puffy. That was a twist I didn't expect. So when Misa was saying they act like sister wives and Kim couldn't stand her, I was kind of like, well, wait, what? Like, it's crazy, y'all. I want you guys to see this. Take this off. It says, I wasn't even coming from a place of who, what, why, Kim Porter said after she found out about the baby, meaning Sarah's baby that she was having with Diddy. I laid low and did what women do. I did my background work, collected information about Chapman. But why? I mean, you know this woman. You've known this woman now for years. What information do you need? It's like, I do think that when Kim was giving this excerpt, some of the stuff that she said was trying to save face, maybe from embarrassment. But I wasn't even on it like that because I was pregnant, and what's bubbling inside me was a blessing from God. I couldn't let that energy be on that. I didn't have any time for any drama, trauma, and bull. At the time, Chapman was 33 and lived in Atlanta, where she worked in fashion. And aside from dating Tupac Shakur before, she and Diddy were also acquainted for a number of years. Porter says she was betrayed by Diddy, who wasn't man enough to tell her about the baby himself. So basically, Sarah and Kim were pregnant at the same time. Both had alleged long-standing relationships with Diddy. It's a tangled, twisted web. But before we get into more stuff on Kim, let's get into J-Lo. Because J-Lo was actually, Kim Porter was with Diddy while, sorry, that's not even it. Where is it? Okay, sorry, it's this one. Kim Porter was actually with Diddy when he decided to get with J-Lo. So I want you guys to hear a little bit of the tumultuous stuff that was going on between J-Lo and Diddy, allegedly, in her own words. Jennifer Lopez and P. Diddy were arrested after a night at an NYC club turned dangerous. The New York Daily News reported that Lopez and Diddy had been having fun mingling with fans until Diddy got into an altercation with the man. The rapper then ruffled feathers when he threw cash around the club, prompting security guards to interfere. During the commotion, a rapper signed to Diddy's label fired a gun, injuring 3 in a club. Lopez and Diddy fled the scene in a car that was later stopped by police. Law enforcement then found a stolen handgun under a front seat near Lopez's feet, leading to both her and Diddy's arrest. After a short stint in custody, the singer-actress was released and charges were dropped, though Diddy would have to take his case to trial before eventually being acquitted. Despite the chaos early in the relationship, Lopez stayed. Jennifer Lopez's loyalty to P. Diddy following their 1999 arrest wasn't enough to maintain a strong relationship. The celeb couple seemed to be totally in love when walking red carpets together. Remember when Lopez, blah, 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 green outfit. But their private life was much more tumultuous. When looking back on her Puffy era, Lopez described it as crazy, heightened time in my life. In 2003 issue of Vibe magazine, Lopez revealed that she was constantly crying and going nuts when dating Diddy. So she has not alleged that there has been any physical abuse. We need to display with the timeline. Look, I told you guys it was a lot, but I have pictures, I have clips. It's a whole lot. I wanted you guys to see that because J-Lo, may not have been comfortable coming forward and just saying, there was some stuff going on that, could hurt my career. There was stuff going on, but he definitely was enamored with her, but he was off and on still with Kim throughout the whole time. So again, very embarrassing, but you got to think you lose them how you get them. Kim was a friend to Misa before Kim started getting with Diddy. So she's mad at Sarah, but Sarah did to her what she did to Misa. Y'all, it's a lot. It's a whole lot. We got about 2,000 in the room. Definitely hit the like button. So I want you guys to hear a little bit more of what Gene had to say as it related to Sarah. Let's see.
Quiet and reserved. She was much thicker than she is now, because they like them slim, thick girls now. They like them slim, thick girls now. So now, Sarah was mad cool. A young lady that you can have an intelligent conversation with. She had an education. She had a little street knowledge. But she was like Puck on the low-low. I get around.
He continues.
Harry Payton outside of basketball. But that's who she fucking with. But it's something that I know that a lot of other people didn't know. She was doing rendezvous with Puffy. And her and Kim was like, now, remember I said, Misa and Kim was like,
Sarah's the baby mom.
Y'all call it besties or whatever y'all call it. You understand? So now, Misa and Kim was like this. Sarah and Kim was like this. I know Puff is doing rendezvous now with Sarah. because it's a lot of people and niggas' wives now that on Saturday mornings, when I made it to the house,
he was dropping them off. I mean, he was hailing cabs for the women, the revolving door women. But I wanted you guys to also hear this story as it related to Sarah, because Sarah's really quiet. She shows up. She's a very beautiful lady. She shows up to the award shows, and you just would never even know. Sarah seems so quiet and subdued, but I guess to the extent that anybody seems quiet and subdued around Diddy. You know, I guess that's a relative term, but let's continue. Sarah's the one in the green. This story is about to take a turn.
So now, Sarah, the young girl in training, the other rapper, and Puff is in his room. I'm the only one who had the key. Sometimes I hear shit and I'll peep in. Yo, y'all good? Everything straight? Yeah, we good, Jane. No more. So now, this other rapper, first cousin, comes up to Puff from the room. He said, yo,
I'm not showing it.
I got to get my cousin and everything like that. He says his cousin name. Is he here? I said, yeah, man, but I'm sorry. Can't nobody go to that room right now. They're in the room right there, but they'll be out in a little while. They've been in there for a long time. He was like, yo, I got to get my cousin out of there right now. I said, yo, brother, call him on his cell phone. If he picks up and want to come out, he could come out. But ain't nobody going in that room right now.
Why do you think nobody could go in that room, y'all? What do you think was going on?
Yeah, it was like an anal probe. It was like, stretching it.
Oh, I'm going in that room. Taj, what up with you, boy? Out there working for me. Appreciate you, Taj. Thank you, sir, for all your service. You heard the story, Face? I put that motherfucker in the piano.
Keep in mind, this was Diddy's bodyguard.
I put that motherfucker in the... And they would do the... Yo, Gene, that's my girl. Do the... But the fuck... Piano. I put that motherfucker in the piano. Next thing you know, Puff and the rapper come out naked.
What do you think the conversation in that room was like?
You're the bottom. That's why you're over there.
I'm really wondering what was going on in that room.
You're the bottom. That's why you're over there.
Butt the fuck naked. And then the rapper had to grab a napkin and what? Because they just came out like, yo, like, because they heard the shit. And I got the nigga in the piano. And they would do the, yo, Gene, that's my cousin. Yo, Gene, what's wrong? I said, I told this nigga he couldn't go up in the room, and he was trying to go up in the room.
It definitely gives Ja Rule.
And Puff looked at the other rapper, and the other rapper said, you ain't want to be in there. There's a whole lot of freaking shit going on. Junior Royalty, Racy. He says a whole lot of freaking shit going on.
Okay, so that brings me to this. Confessions of a Video Vixen. Let's see. Wait, I just had it. Okay, here we go. So this is the chapter about Exhibit. He says, we went back to the house and we met up with Exhibit. The look on Exhibit's face was asking what's going on, and all I could do was shrug my shoulders. I had no idea. I went along to mingle with the rest of the attendees and say hello to people I knew. Diddy and Exhibit disappeared upstairs at Diddy's request, leaving me baffled. About 45 minutes later, Exhibit came downstairs and grabbed me by my forearm, dragging me out of the front lawn. His eyes were wide and his mouth was open. What did you do to that man? He asked. I was even more confused than ever. Exhibit went on to describe the conversation he'd had with Diddy. Diddy had warned Exhibit to be careful around me. Keep in mind, we're talking about Corinne. Diddy had asked Exhibit to be careful around me and not to let me near his home. Diddy even confided that he was in the process of buying the home we were in, but now that I had been there, he would not go through with the purchase. Then he said something even stranger. Exhibit told me that Diddy said, she'll have you on video with fingers in your, let's just say it rhymes with duty. By this point, Exhibit was just as confused as me. We stood on the front lawn laughing hysterically. Diddy appeared to be under the influence, but underneath the laughter, there was a serious thought running through my head. Why was Diddy this anxious around me? I remained baffled and threw the thought into the back of my mind as Exhibit and I rejoined the party. So that's what Gene had to say. Now, that's what Superhead had to say. I'm telling you guys, it's a lot of twists, it's a lot of turns, but it was important before we get into Kim Porter to kind of give you guys Sarah, because Sarah was there way before anybody had originally thought. Sarah being his third baby mama. Let's continue. So we have Kim's relationship with Diddy. Now, Kim, has again never, it's important to say this, Kim has never said that she was in a physically abusive relationship with Diddy. However, we have some information that is contrary to that. It says, sorry, it's so many tabs, guys. P. Diddy's girl gets nose broken. Sean Diddy Combs' girlfriend, Kim Porter, was left with a broken nose after the couple argued on Combs' yacht in Saint-Tropez. The argument is rumored to have taken place in the early hours of the morning after a party. The Sun have quoted a source as saying the argument, by 2 a.m., they were arguing loudly. This one went on for several hours. Then at 7 a.m., there was screaming. Combs flew in a special plastic surgeon from Geneva after the accident. Porter has since claimed that she hurt her face after she banged her nose on a table. So I don't know what to say. So when I found a picture of Kim with the stuff on her nose, I was like, oh. But again, this is all alleged. I'm only giving you guys what I have found so far. But she has never said out of her own mouth that she was any type of victim of DV. But this is what Gene had to say. Shout out to Tasha K. I will link her videos as well.
But Kim got tired of it and she wasn't taking her.
It seems like he got a lot of regret when it comes to Kim Porter now. That's what it seems to me. He's living with a lot of regret.
Bro, come on. Stop the bullshit, man. He got you fooled too, huh? You understand? Kim know all his deepest secrets. You understand? Kim knew why he was using the butt plugs. Kim probably told all that shit in her book. You understand? That up and got missing the day she died.
I stopped after butt plug.
Dildo up my ass today. Okay? So I stripped and I'm not putting a dildo up my vajayjay. In the discussion.
It does,
okay.
but you
Replace that with butt plug. Crazy. So I had not heard anything per se about that, but now we have a timeline. What they are alleging, or as to why Diddy was truthfully upset at Kim, was a relationship allegedly that she had with an executive named Shakir Stewart, to be exact. Now, Shakir Stewart was a big shot. Measure Man, this is all insane. Then NYPD said TMZ lied about the second investigation. We're going to get to that. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. We got almost 3,000 in the chat. We should be at least 1,500 likes, y'all. I was up watching all these videos, doing research. Last night, I didn't even get to plan my 75th. So we're going to have to postpone that till maybe tomorrow or Monday. I don't know. This has been a lot. But yes, thank you for the super chat, and definitely hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. So Shakir Stewart, a big shot in the music industry. He signed people like Beyonce. Anytime you can say that you were the person that signed Beyonce, You are definitely a big shot in the industry. I know I have a photo of Shakir somewhere around here. Let's see. Here we go. Shakir Stewart. Friends with L.A. Reid. The story, or the alleged story, is Shakir and Kim were having a little something. Diddy finds out. Diddy and Shakir are in the same space because L.A. Reid was getting married to his second wife in Capri, and they were both there. The allegations are that they went to his room, Diddy and his security opened the door or got into the door, and some physicality happened. One of the things about Shakir, though, is his untimely passing. So after he was made the, I think he replaced Jay-Z with Def Jam, is when Shakir took his own life in some very strange circumstances. It says Shakir Stewart, a native of Oakland, California, was a U.S. record executive in a number of companies, the latest being Def Jam. At the time of his passing, he was the senior vice president of Island Def Jam Music Group and the executive vice president. So a firsthand account says they saw him wigging out seconds before he took his own life. A close friend was trying to talk wigging out record executive Shakir Stewart moments before he took his own life Saturday. Herb Smith of DeCola said in the report that he had come over to Stewart's Marietta home Saturday at the request of Stewart's fiancée, Michelle Rivers, to talk to Island Def Jam Records vice president about his change in behavior that concerned his fiancée. Smith told police that he noticed a behavioral change in Stewart when he arrived at the house and Stewart was wigging out. So, guys, people have been putting things out about Shakir and Diddy. I don't know that to be true. So I'm letting you guys know. I'm letting you guys know I do not know the circumstances or what, caused him to do that. But people did throw Diddy's name into it because of the Kim Porter alleged, rumor. It's a lot. I told you it was a lot. So, now Shakir is gone. So we got Diddy, Tupac, Andre Harrell, Heavy D. A lot of people in Diddy's orbit are no longer around. Kim Porter. So Diddy makes all kinds of comments, but sometimes they just seem a little bit like, should you be making these comments?
I got this dream of us taking accountability and stop killing.
Accountability and stop what, Diddy? You want to do what?
I got this dream of us taking accountability and stop killing.
Okay. So yes, Shakir Stewart gone too soon. Nobody ever, I was going through everything. Nobody was ever saying anything about this man technically being problematic. And the only issue that came out was his issue with Diddy. So there was a interview dating back to 2009 where one of Diddy's artists allegedly kind of gave a little insight.
Stealing. That's not just his fault. It's your fault too.
You believe the rumors between him and Mace?
Now that right there.
Hold on. Do you believe the rumors between
him and Mace? Well, you gotta look at it like this, and I say it best like this.
Okay.
A person like Mace that comes to Puff that wants a record deal automatically is willing to do anything that he got to do to have that deal because he asked him for a record deal. So then you got to look at it and be like, you know what? You willing to sell your soul for this shit right here.
And if you're willing to sell your soul, you won't do anything.
You willing to do anything.
Damn you, Mark Curry.
Like, for example,
please.
They might say, hey, you know what? I'm going to give you $1 million. I'm going to give you $2 million. I'm going to give you $100 million. But before I do that, I just want to take a couple of pictures with you, with your shirt off and your pants off too. And then you be like $100 million, shirt and no pants. Okay, that's what they be doing. Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
So then now, here go your $100 million. So then now you sitting there with your girl She got the diamonds and the fur on. She looked good. So all of a sudden, you see somebody in the background flashing those pictures in that envelope at you like this, telling you to come in. We need to talk to you. You be like, wow, now you got me by the balls.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So then that's when a lot of things come in to play too, without me having to speak on other things. When somebody come to you and say, you know, I'm gonna expose to your people everything that you've done to get this money, you'd be like, yo, man, that'll make you kill yourself.
Now, if you don't know who he's talking about, then I just cannot help you.
Allegedly, they were talking about Shakir. We got all 3,200 people in the chat. Definitely hit that like button, guys. This was some work. And no, some people are like, you didn't know about this? No, I didn't know about a lot of this stuff. I've been deep diving since like last night, and I didn't even get a lot of sleep. So yeah, this was a lot. I didn't even know who Shakir was, to be honest with you, up until I started researching him today. But again, the guy was extremely unproblematic. Extremely unproblematic. Somebody actually mentioned Laurieanne Gibson. Look at that. We were actually just about to talk about her. So Diddy attacks choreographer on making the band. So fans of choreographer Laurieanne Gibson and her boom cat. Actually, I want you guys to kind of hear this as I'm reading. So I need to share that, but Diddy will not be getting me on copy. So this was the offense.
Had 8 hours, and they were better when they left. No. I thought when I left the hotel, I thought you had her coming in earlier from today. I wasn't today. No, I heard that you had her from this weekend. I thought you told me. Huh? This is the first time we could get her in. Okay, but then I told you give me another choreographer because right now you want me to make a cut. I
So
can't make a cut
making the band
routine in one day.
This is
I don't really know today. I wouldn't have been able to learn all that.
I saw this in real time, y'all.
Yes, you would have. Baby girl, that ain't what I said to do with my show, though, man. So I'm cutting based on not having what I asked for. I asked for the rejection. Now I'm psycho for real. No, and so am I. Get the out there.
I believe you when you say it. He said it, not me.
With pleasure. Michael Bivens, you can't pick up 4 counts to 8 in one day, then what are we all doing here? I don't want to be a part of this. If you can't pick up 4 counts in one day, no, you disrespectful. Get me. Turn the cameras off. You disrespectful. You ain't your corny.
She called him corny.
That's Diddy. Whatever. You don't scare me. This is crazy, man. You're supposed to have respect, boy.
She said very clearly, you don't scare me, which led me to believe that people in his orbit were accustomed to being scared.
I'm saying you're supposed to be a sister. No respect. Wait, hold on.
I think it's only fair that we truly address the Laurieanne situation properly. I think she was a very positive impact for the show. I don't respect how she handled the situation, but hey, this is entertainment. We all a little crazy now and then.
Not as crazy as you, sir. So this is what Laurieanne actually had to say. Let's see. This was before she started working for him again. Fans of choreographer Laurieanne Gibson and her boom cat sound effects on Diddy's Making the Band reality show can start preparing to kiss these moments goodbye. New York Daily News columnist Ben Whitcomb wrote Friday that Gibson and Diddy had a nasty falling out, during which the choreographer says the rap mogul menaced her with the chair. Sources also tell Whitcomb that Diddy fired her during the incident and at one point yelled for the MTV cameras to be shut off. Gibson filed a complaint with NYPD on May 11, claiming the argument jumped off when Diddy and guest judge Michael Bivens lamented over the disappointing performance of the group's contestants. During the April 25th taping at the Branch New York Sports Club in Greenwich, Gibson said she explained to Diddy and Bivens that the contestants had been given only a day to practice, blah, blah, blah. Gibson said the two men began to yell and curse at her before Bivens allegedly grabbed her and Diddy picked up a chair to threaten her. She said she broke free, tried to run, and Bivens allegedly grabbed her once again. Then she left. Closest source to Diddy denied he grabbed the chair. They also claimed the argument was incited to add drama for the show. So this was the response. This is just another example of a false accusation by someone trying to take advantage of Son's success and celebrity status. I let you guys see that because that sounds very similar to what he's saying about Cassie. Everybody is just trying to take advantage of Diddy. Diddy is never doing anything wrong. Oh, Kel Green, thank you so much for joining the membership, and Latoya Young as well. Thank you guys. We got like 3,500 in the chat. Definitely hit that like button. Bivens was there for that. We're about to get into Cassie. Now, with Cassie, I posted a picture on my Instagram of Cassie, and actually the picture you see on the thumbnail to this video. We're going to talk a little bit about Cassie's ATV accident. What happened to Cassie in 2014? ATV accident revisited in the wake of Diddy lawsuit. On the blah, 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 blah. Okay, in the wake of the recent accusations in the lawsuit, fans of Cassie have dug out an incident from 2014 when the official girl songstress appeared in public with busted lips, eye injuries, forehead band-aids, and a scarred face. Back then, when she was asked by the media what happened to her, she had reportedly stated that she was involved in an ATV accident. However, we now believe that it was a result of Diddy's abuse, which she couldn't reveal back then. In late October 2014, singer, songwriter, actress, model, and dancer Cassie was on a Dubai trip when she allegedly got hurt in an ATV crash. Not only did she appear in public showing her injuries back then, but she also took to Instagram to share a close-up picture of swollen lips, band-aid forehead, and more, while sporting a pair of Ray-Ban shades. The caption of the now-deleted post read as follows: "New Ray-Bans on my way home. Too much fun." Look. People were questioning a lot about Cassie. However, I want you guys to see this dating back to 2009 from Lipstick Alley. So it says, this is January 12th, 2009. Cassie isn't going anywhere. Puff is smart and knows how to pick chicks he can brutalize and control. He knows he has Cassie right where he wants her. She's young and impressionable and wants the fame and riches. Why would Puff's bodyguards start intervening now when they haven't done so before? They are ride or die and don't want they cheddar effed up. Now, guys, this was so eerie to me. I mean, we all know Lipstick Alley, but they were spot on. Let's see. Here we go. This is January 12th, 2009. Last night, Diddy and Cassie were out at a club in Los Angeles. Cassie apparently was chopping it up with some producer a bit too long for Diddy's taste. Diddy goes over to her, grabs her arm, and starts going off on her in front of the dude. At this point, they proceeded to leave the club. They get in the limo, and Cassie is mouthing off and bops Diddy upside the back of the head. Of course, all hell breaks loose. Diddy smacks her in the face, and she is shaking and shit. His bodyguard tries to intervene, telling Diddy to chill. They continue arguing all the way back to the house in the limo. Once they get there, Cassie runs and grabs her like she is leaving and goes walking off down the street. Diddy goes after her and proceeds to knock her to the ground, at which point he kicks her a few times in the face. The bodyguard pulls him off her. Cassie, crying and bleeding, is taken to her hotel by one of her assistants. The next day, Diddy has one of the assistants go on a $20,000 shopping spree for gifts and has them sent to Cassie's room. Well, I'll be damned if this ain't the same old Ike and Tina type stuff. Diddy is a mother. Now, that was from 2009. This is the actual lawsuit. It's almost word for word, y'all. Can y'all believe that Lipstick Alley reported this? because a lot of people give Lipstick Alley a lot, but this was almost word for word. It says in January 2009, after Mr. Combs learned that Ms. Ventura spoke to another music manager at a party in Los Angeles, he became enraged. She had hoped speaking to this manager would allow her to further grow her career and that Mr. Combs would be happy for her. But instead, he became extremely angry and pulled her out of the club where the party was taking place. In the car leaving the club, Mr. Combs beat Ms. Ventura, pushing her into a corner of the vehicle and stomping on her face. Mr. Combs' security staff, Roger Bonds, tried to stop the beating, but was unable to de-escalate the situation. When the car arrived at Mr. Combs' residence, Ms. Ventura attempted to run away, but Mr. Combs followed her and proceeded to again kick her in the face. Ms. Ventura was bleeding profusely and was ushered into Mr. Combs' home, where she began to throw up from the violent assault. Upon recognizing the damage he had done and the physical evidence of abuse, Mr. Combs panicked and forced his staff to bring Ms. Ventura to a hotel suite at the London Hotel in Los Angeles, where she was required to stay for the week. During this stay, as her injuries from the beating healed, Ms. Ventura began to fully realize that Mr. Combs' tremendously loyal network not only knew about and witnessed his assault, but also that these witnesses were not willing to do anything meaningful to stop Mr. Combs' behavior. She recognized that she was powerless and that reporting Mr. Combs to the authorities would not alter Mr. Combs' status or influence, but would merely give Mr. Combs another excuse to hurt her. Mr. Combs proceeded to instruct his assistant to purchase excessive amounts of gifts for Ms. Ventura, which delivered to the hotel room where she remained trapped. Now, this is where they actually mentioned Lipstick Alley, y'all. Right here. Article 70. While in the hotel, she asked to go home to her parents, so Mr. Combs wouldn't let her leave. She lied to her mother when asked about an online gossip forum that reported the assault. Y'all. So if you are new to the channel, I actually read all 35 pages last night. I will link that at the end of this video. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. We've been going at it. I didn't even realize, let's see, where we are on likes. So we only have 1,000 likes, but we got 3,600 people watching. Definitely hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. I think my sister is going to be going live tonight to talk about DV on her channel. I'll let you guys know. And I'll be there as well. She has her own DV stuff that she is finally willing to talk about. So it should be a really deep conversation. I promised her I would do that with her. Okay, so we get this word from word. When I saw that Lipstick Alley, like I started going through all the threads from Lipstick Alley, and they were spot on to a lot of the stuff. This was a thread that they had about Shakir. It said back in the U.S., Shakir was confronted, and the former Jeff Diamond executive was physically attacked for his involvement with Kim Porter. Shakir and Kim messed around, and when Diddy found out, Shakir got beat up at a party, and so did Kim while on vacation with Diddy. Now, that's what we talked about with the alleged broken nose. Kim actually had a broken nose by Diddy and had to have a plastic surgeon flown in while they were away on their romantic trips. So people were feeding Lipstick Alley all of this stuff. The stage sources say Diddy orchestrated before attacking Porter. According to sources, after Diddy broke Porter's nose, blah, 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 blah. Okay, we went over that. I think there was some other stuff that they had said. Okay, somebody said people have been talking about his whippings for so long that it's just what you expect from him. I guess he slowed down a tad now that he's aging. Like when he allegedly beat the brakes off Cassie at his house, then brought her gifts, or him hunting Kim down like a maniac. So, serious topic, but that was funny. He was and is known to spaz out, hence the name Puffy, but I never thought it extended to ladies like that. I must have been in denial or something. I hope that Kim, Cassie, and whoever's stories aren't as bad as they seem. So, Lipstick Alley. Somebody else had a thing. I believe Diddy or L.A. Reid was behind Shakir's untimely passing. It was said that Shakir wanted nothing to do with the other side of hip hop. Read between the lines. Factor in Shakir was allegedly messing with Kim and didn't want to go down with the DL Club. It was said that both LA and Diddy were acting real funny, like they were distancing themselves from the situation. It's been said that Diddy has been mind effing Concubine Cassie for a minute. Now, I'm not calling the girl Concubine, but that's what this person said. The alleged trains while he sits back and watches. The alleged multiple terminations of pregnancy, but acts a fool when she mentions taking birth control. So people were talking about this. People were feeding this to the blogs 12, 14 years ago. But I think because it's Lipstick Alley, people were not giving it the credence. But these things were out there. It's been a ride. And we're like literally just now about to get to Virginia. Virginia is the young lady who was formerly a part of Floyd Mayweather's harem. I don't know what else to call it. Oh, and we did not discuss Kid Cutie. I'm sorry. Kid, and I butcher his name all the time. I always have, and I probably always will. Chalk it up to my head, not my heart. He has now acknowledged that he did have to go to the police because Diddy did allegedly blow up his car in his driveway. Cassie said in the complaint that not only did Diddy tell her he was going to do this, he wanted to make sure that he was home so that he knew that it was Diddy who did it. So I didn't forget about him, guys. On to the woman from the harem. So Gina, Virginia V, because everybody has a name, was at one point one of Floyd's girls. Diddy got in there with her, and unfortunately for her, she experienced some of the same things that Cassie did. I will link her interview with Tasha K in this, but we'll listen to a little bit.
I just got to the point where I was just so angry that I like took a bottle of De Leon and I like smashed it on the ground, and he was like, then you can get out my house. Like, he just being mean to me. Like I could walk into a White House and still be chill, but like inside I'm like screaming, oh my God. But when I came to his house, obviously I was like kind of, and so I gave it to him.
How'd that make you feel? Diddy asking for your number?
It made me feel we were together.
Okay. So you spent a lot of time together?
We did.
Okay. So you were at the house. Did you meet his kids?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. Now, when we spoke the other night, you said that things had gotten so serious that you became pregnant. Not once, but twice, correct?
Yes.
Okay. When was the first time you became pregnant with Diddy's child?
The first time was October 2014.
Okay. So this was like, what, a year after?
No, not a year, but because I met him that
was
wanted him for money.
Okay.
I just 2.5 years he was like mean to me.
So when you say mean, describe it.
He was abusive. He was like always belittling me and always like he was like mentally, emotionally, and physically abusing me.
Did he?
Mm-hmm.
It's not the first time we've heard that.
Mm-hmm.
There was an incident, of course, with Cassie, where reporters are saying that the police were called because they got into an altercation. I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. Tell me some of the things that he would say.
So Tasha K, y'all, when this came out, you know, Tasha K gets a bad rap, but she definitely was on point about Diddy. So was Wendy Williams. Definitely, so was Wendy Williams. But let's continue.
To you.
He would always compare me to Cassie and tell me that I'm the bad one and she's a good one.
And he was with both of you guys at the same time.
Yeah. And at one point, like I was breaking out really bad with acne, and he would be like, he said this a few times to me. He was like, baby, why don't you go see a doctor or something? I don't date women with bumps on their face.
Oh.
Yeah, he would.
Because y'all, Diddy is so attractive. Right? Diddy is just so attractive.
Say that to me.
Take a drink. Relax. Okay. I can tell this is bringing up a lot. We have some tissues. Thank you, Jasmine.
She went into very graphic detail in how he actually was abusive towards her. So I will link Tasha's video in this video, but it goes to show you that now we have Carisha. Now Carisha is calling Diddy Poppy. And when it first happened, I think a lot of people were kind of like, you know, a little bit grossed out, but you know, now that Cassie has come out and said that, and I'll actually read this part to you guys. Where is it? Here. Cassie, this is what Cassie had to say. In this way, Mr. Combs exerted ownership over Ms. Ventura. As an example of the ways in which he manipulated Ms. Ventura and ensured obedience, early on in their relationship, he asked Ms. Ventura what she called her grandfather. When Mr. Ventura said that she referred to her grandfather as Pop Pop, Mr. Combs perversely insisted that Miss Ventura referred to him with that nickname. So now when I'm seeing Carisha hold up this sign, to me, I'm low-key disgusted. I'm disgusted. Because I don't know if that's something that you guys just, that he does to all of his women, allegedly, making them tell me what you call your father or your grandfather, and now you need to call me that verbatim. It's kind of gross, in my opinion. It's disgusting. I definitely think it's perverse, but this is what Carisha had to say that is raising eyebrows to Gina. Because Gina has sent, it's important to say, Gina has now gone back and forth with Diddy. She did allege abuse, but like a lot of people who are abused, she went back. And now she's getting into it with Young Miami, who is now dating Diddy. But I wanted you guys to see what she had to say, because it's very telling. It's as if to say, well, maybe what Cassie was saying was true. Let me see. Oh, I did not want to put it up on the screen because of her words were a little bit not YouTube friendly. Let me just go to Storm's page because Storm had it up. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so Young Miami said, if I wanted you to eat my pee, Diddy would have had you on your knees, HOE. You a eater. Well, that's giving credence to what Cassie is saying. Basically, you are admitting that Diddy has these FOs, these freak-offs. And Gina and probably you and whomever else is into golden showers are, you know, or golden drizzles, I think is what we call it over here to be safe. There's so many like little creepy things. Like
wherever you want to go. Where are we going?
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full. But
it was weird. I know that people in Hollywood just kind of signed their kids away, but it was definitely weird. Let me see.
I'm going crazy.
Crazy.
I'm taking this out tonight.
What you want to do? What you want to do over the next 48 hours?
48 hours. Let's go. Let's just go get some girls. Let's go hang out with some girls.
I think he was like 14 or 15. I think he was like 14 or 15. 50 did not mince his words.
It's like, yo, when we gonna get the chance to, to kick it, like we can just hang out, nigga. We gotta kick it. This is Paul. Okay. You're telling me we gotta kick it and shit. And he was like, yo, why don't we like go shopping or some shit? I mean, like I pay for it. And I was like, what the fuck this nigga just said? I got the fuck away from him because I was like, this nigga, fucking, this nigga just tell me he'd take me shopping. And this is shit that goes on. But this is a little fruit pile.
No, I think. Okay, so I wanted you guys to see that because Noriega was extremely uncomfortable. Diddy's very powerful. You have 50 Cent telling the world Diddy's deep, dark, alleged secret on one of Diddy's platforms. Diddy owns Revolt. Revolt owns Drink Champs. So if you saw what they were saying, oh, chill out. Yeah, chill out. It's interesting. Diddy also has a partnership with the Breakfast Club, or the Revolt owns Breakfast Club, something. I want you guys to hear how the Breakfast Club decided to discuss what's going on with Diddy. They were extremely diplomatic, way more diplomatic than you would ever imagine they would be. So, and this morning, how about this? This video was down. This morning, this video was down. I've never seen a situation where a Breakfast Club video gets uploaded to YouTube and then taken down and privated. This was it. This morning. Privated. This video is private. So I don't know if calls are being made. I thought that they were extremely diplomatic in the way that they addressed it, but maybe they didn't like it at all.
We all saw it posted yesterday all over our social media pages. Cassie filed a lawsuit in New York City against Diddy. Yikes. She's claiming she was stuck in a decade-long cycle of abuse, violence, and sex trafficking. Tell my story. She's speaking up on Survivors Act fast approaching, recovering.
What are the allegations exactly?
Silent, so she chose to speak up.
What are the allegations exactly?
It just says that he did a bunch of stuff, that he allegedly gave her copious amounts of drugs, leading to a painful struggle with drug and alcohol abuse, that he controlled every aspect of her life. He is accused of free use were gone, and that all sex workers watch.
Male sex workers, what?
Yeah. It sounded like hired some prostitutes and then watched them,
So basically, Charlemagne is really making her work. He's just saying, huh? What? Huh? There's no, they're not cracking gay jokes like they do all the time. You guys are picking up on this, right?
No.
Yikes.
Do their thing.
I mean, those are some serious allegations. Cassie is entitled to file her lawsuit, and Diddy is entitled to due process. That's why these situations, should play out in court and not the court of public opinion. And I know everybody wants to have the hot take on this situation, but the reality is we don't know.
No.
We don't know what's true and what's not true, so you got to let things play out. But what I will say, when you see situations like this, don't laugh or celebrate what you think is a person's downfall, or be quick to dismiss someone's.
This is coming from Charlemagne's mouth. So to me, this is saying that Charlemagne can be bought.
It's claims. Just let things play out.
Yes, sad. It's so many years that they were together that if this is true, to be going through something like that for that long and remain silent. And can you imagine how many other people would have seen that? Like, I'm a domestic violence survivor. So I've been in a situation, silent, stand on my own women,
Speak on your situation.
Going through.
What made you speak on your situation?
Well, now we've completely changed the subject. Now we're allowing her to give her own testimony, but we're not actually going in depth on Diddy.
You didn't identify.
It was his. I realized potential.
Energy, sending everybody dealing with those type of situations, healing energy.
All DJ Envy in the background. Yikes. I know y'all are picking up on this. Sino, thank you so much for joining the membership. I appreciate you. Y'all, I think there was one more. But yes, I do feel like they were trying to protect him as best they can. without seeming like they are selling out, right? Because you can't really go in on your boss. But at the same time, if you're the voice of the people, you think that Wendy Williams would have been quiet? No, not at all. Diddy even admits to being or having dark times while he's with Cassie. Holding me down in the dark times. I believe Cassie. I definitely believe Cassie. I always let you guys know what Diddy or whomever is the allegations are about is saying. Diddy has categorically denied all allegations, but you can see already things are starting to shift from him. There was a DeLeon party. It said, "It is with a heavy heart that we announce the unfortunate cancellation of Sunday's highly anticipated DeLeon Day party. Recent serious allegations against DeLeon tequila owner Sean Puff Combs have compelled us to take immediate action. In light of these circumstances, we believe it is in our best interest of our community to regrettably cancel the event. We understand the disappointment this may bring, but we remain committed to the values of integrity and accountability. However, we are excited to share that we have something special in the works." So y'all, let me tell you how this stuff works. You have people like Diddy, who is now, he's valued at $1 billion. That does not mean that Diddy has $1 million in the bank. Just like what happened with Kanye with the comments, and then once Adidas canceled his deal, all of a sudden now he's worth $200 million. He's now off the Forbes list. He had said that he was the richest black man in the world at one point. Diddy is not above reproach. Diddy, I've heard, is technically more of a face of the brand as opposed to having full ownership. Now, I'll do more research into that. But these type of allegations can definitely hurt somebody. These can take you off the map extremely quick. And people are going to start choosing sides. Diddy has a lot of power, but we have seen powerful men being taken down for less. So as more people start coming out, as Cassie starts doing interviews, I would not be surprised if there will be some form of a settlement. But yeah, if DeLeon is canceling stuff, and they've had their own issues recently with even being able to source out the materials to make the tequila, it's, you know, it's something. Tommy Bites TV, thank you so much for the super chat. He said Cassie to show he can control her mood. He might have been taunting her. He might have been taunting her. I could see that now that you mentioned that. We got 4,300 in the chat. Let me just see real quick where we are on likes. We got 1,500 likes. We should at least be at 200. Y'all, your boy worked. This video, I did not know a lot of this stuff. So even bringing it to you, it's kind of deep and heavy. Between this and my video I'm going to be doing on my sister's channel, which I will let you guys know, if you have like your own stories of domestic violence that you feel like you want to share, that's what that will be about. It'll be an open panel discussion, and, you know, people will be talking about being victims of abuse and the Cassie situation and what they do and do not believe. So that should be sometime tonight. You guys, your boy is tired. We were supposed to be doing our big party. I would love it if you guys would cut me just a little slack and we can postpone it till it's sometime this weekend or Monday night. Monday night will probably be better. I'm tired. I am wore out. I didn't get much sleep. Who's my sister? She has a channel called Reddit Lane. So yeah, we'll be doing that over there. I will let you guys know. For now, we're going to be done with this. This was a lot. And I'm going to see you guys later. You guys have a great one. Thanks for coming. Thanks for the new subscriber. We are inching up to 80,000 straight shooters. So I got to go. Have a good one, y'all.